I believe they're doing wonderfully. We have this image that they're not. Why? Because we lost our tourists. So we had a big bulk of people doing research, but they came in and left. They left a mark, they did good things, but they didn't stay to transform the profession. But we kept a group of core researchers that stayed there, stick up, worked really hard, suffered all the pains that involve to remain in fire to keep up the profession. And they are doing absolutely extraordinary research. And you saw it yesterday. Everyone that stands up, that is part of this core fire protection programs, and is here to deliver a talk, is doing wonderful work. And we really have to accept that. You know, we generate unique research areas. You cannot believe the things that we're doing right now. You know, basically integrating artificial intelligence with sensors, with fire dynamics, things that you before could have never thought about. You know, we're developing extraordinary tools. We talked about FDS, you know, Smart Fire, Exodus, all these tools that really did not exist 10 years ago. So they're all there. You know, we have great investment in technology transfer. We are a model discipline in our interactions with industry. You know, if you look at any mechanical engineering department, most professors are sitting there with their head down doing their work. And industry is a nuisance. Industry is part of our core program, and we're really working very hard to do that technology transfer. You know, we have developed unprecedented multidisciplinary programs that bring people from all over the place and interest people from other areas in fire. You know, we have unprecedented collaborations with industry, so bottom line, they are delivering the strategic research for tomorrow. The quantity is not that large because we've lost our tourists, but the quality is still there and it's a really high level. So, it's all wonderful. Well, people always criticize me because they say I'm too negative. Okay? At this point, I'm beginning to lose my credibility, so the answer is clearly no. Okay? So obviously, it's not all wonderful. Okay? The truth is that we're suffering from our growing pains. Okay? And there's a lot of things that are part of this concept of growing pains. And we're not coping with the change of identity. And to me, that is the critical thing. We're still thinking of us, fire safety engineers, fire protection engineers, as what we were and what we are today. But we're not looking forward and trying to see what we can be in the future. And that alludes a lot into what David Luck was saying. So the idea that, you know, I'm talking about specialists and specialists and specialists. We have to embrace all these people to try to redefine our identity in a way such that it makes us viable. So we're not coping with a generational change. That has been very hard. Fire safety engineering or fire protection engineering was built by this huge number of people there. But then there's a huge gap. And then there's us coming afterwards. So that generational change has been incredibly hard, but we're just turning around the corner. So this is a very difficult thing that is literally creating a lot of problems within, you know, universities, research places, and the industry, because there is a generational change, a cultural change that we're having a really hard time coping with. So we do not trust, we focus on criticism, or we do not celebrate our accomplishments. And I think this is a product of these three things. We really are suffering to try to see what we are. So when we see something from the outside, it's the antibodies that react first. And our first tendency is to criticize and say, oh, this was not done right, he doesn't know anything about fire safety engineering. Well, of course, he's a mechanical engineer, so why we should expect him to know, or things like that. So I think we have that problem and we have to deal with it. So we are afraid of competition from the outside and from the new. And I think this is really critical because we have forgotten to embrace a lot of the wonderful new people that were coming in. And it is our job to keep them here. Okay? And I think this is really essential because we have lost generations of people that came in as tourists and left. And we really have to make them part of our discipline. So at the end of the day, we have to avoid asking ourselves this question. Are we xenophobic as a profession? This is really the big question that we need to ask ourselves every day. Are we really accepting of new ideas, new people, different things coming into our profession? So the risk, if we don't do that, and we don't ask ourselves that question every day, is that we're going to lose our profession. And why are we going to lose our profession? Because we need these people from the outside. The future is part with them. Without them, we cannot continue to grow at the pace that we've been growing. So society will not wait for us to grow the specialists from our own core. And this is what David Luck was saying yesterday. You know, we don't have the capability to create those 300 or 400 or whatever engineers that we need to make us part of the mainstream of engineering of infrastructure. If we don't actually accept and embrace all the specialists and people from the outside at all the different levels, they're not going to wait for us. They're going to solve the problem for us. Structural engineers will start doing structural engineering and incorporate fire as one of their little things in there. But the problem is, if that happens, we're going to lose our strategy, and that's the core of our profession. That's what really defines fire protection engineering, our capability of delivering a strategy that takes all these specialists, puts them together into an answer to a very specific, objective-oriented problem. And if we lose that part, we're going to lose our profession. And when we lose our profession, we will lose the freedom that we have fought so hard to attain. So, this will clearly be taking a step back from tomorrow to going in a direction of yesterday. And that is a real serious problem. So, the hope, and I will end here. Our future relies on our openness. We need to embrace the new and the foreign into our field. We need to make them understand and identify with fire profession. They have to become part of us. It's not enough for them to just show up, deliver the goods, and leave. That's not the kind of people that we want. We want people that will come here, stick, stay, and be part of us. And it's not their job to figure that out. It is our job to entice them to stay here with us. So, you know, we need to make our field attractive by opening our problems to our solutions, and that is a critical point. And fire is a multidisciplinary field, and therefore a fertile ground for this approach. It's not counterintuitive for us. It is actually absolutely what this field has always been about. Multidisciplinary exchange of ideas and knowledge that enable this field to happen. So, bottom line, what we need is immigrants, not tourists. Thank you very much.